Hello, I'm Kate Brax. Today I'm in Western Sydney and we're about to meet Tammy and Faith, who are going to share some of their family secrets on how to make some Middle Eastern desserts. This is Desserts of the World. Australia is a rich mix of people, cultures and foods. We're going into the homes of immigrant Australians and learning how to make the international desserts we all love to eat. Hello Tammy, I'm Kate. Lovely to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Kate.
Thank you so much for having me to your lovely home.
You're welcome.
Look at all these photos.
Yes.
Family's important to you?
Oh, of course.
Tell me who's in your family.
See, that my daughter's family, my son's family,
Yeah.
my second daughter's family, my oldest daughter's family is my husband.
So you have four
And
children?
4 children.
And any grandchildren?
I got 15 of them.
15 grandchildren.
And 2 grandkids.
2 great-grandchildren. You
Yes,
don't look old
yes.
enough. And tell me, what do they call you?
Call me Teta.
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 Yes.
Oh, that's beautiful. And tell me about this photo.
We went holiday to Syria.
Yes. So
Yes.
you're from Syria
Syria. Syria is a beautiful country, yes.
with beautiful food.
Oh, yes.
Speaking of which, can you show me this dessert
Of
now?
course, of
Let's go to
course.
my favourite
Come
room,
on.
the kitchen.
Come on in.
So here we are in your kitchen and we have a beautiful array of ingredients. Tell me, Tammy, what are we going to make?
We're going to make today batlewa.
Bat-
Batlewa.
Batlewa.
Yes.
Did I say that right?
Yes.
Tell me, what
Does
is
it-
batlewa?
See, batlewa, we call it baglawa in English.
Baklava.
Baklava.
Okay, fantastic.
Yes.
And what goes into your batlewa?
See, we goes walnuts,
Yes.
butter,
Yeah.
some icing sugar, some nuts. I don't know what to call that nut.
Pistachio? They look like
Pistachio.
pistachio.
And some syrup.
With some
and,
orange blossom water.
Yes.
Okay.
Orange blossom.
Lovely.
And a sugar,
of
syrup.
course.
Yep.
It wouldn't be a dessert
Of
without a
course,
sugar.
that's right.
Okay, so tell me, what will we start with?
We're going to start with the syrup.
The syrup, okay.
Because the syrup should be cold.
So you need to make it first so that it's got
First.
time to cool
That's
down.
right, to cool
Okay.
down.
Now I notice you don't have any proper measuring cups or spoons. Is this
See?
the way you cook all the
See,
time?
that's what I cook all the time.
Yeah?
No measuring, no stuff.
Fantastic. So show me how you do it.
Whatever is good. Oh, that's good enough. It's good.
Okay.
Feeling good.
Okay.
So,
Let's go. So
now-
sugar first?
sugar first.
So
we
how many
do-
years have you been making badlewa for?
Oh, years and years, years and years.
So you just know
Oh,
what it
yes,
should look
yes,
like.
yes.
Okay. So you're using
See,
a glass.
the tray we're gonna do, gonna take 4 cups of sugar.
4 of these
4
glasses
cups.
of sugar.
Yeah.
And it's probably pretty similar to a metric cup.
Yes. It's because all my life I measured with that cup.
You always make it with this
With
cup?
this cup. That's why I know what I'm doing.
And none of your 4 children ever broke your measuring cup?
No. I
Lucky.
got broken. I got another one.
I have to
Same-
get a different one.
Same
Sure.
as this one. So we have to put 2 glasses of water.
2 glasses. So freshly boiled water.
Yes, freshly. Yes. Yeah. Don't burn your hands.
Don't burn my hands. That would be
Yeah,
good.
just- yeah. That's another one.
1,
Yeah.
2.
That's
So it's
it.
quite a lot of syrup, really, isn't it?
Yep. It's good. It's enough for 1 tray.
Okay, and you're stirring it just to
Stir in
loosen,
it to loosen it a
the
little
bottom.
bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we'll put it in a hot plate.
Would you like me to do that for you?
Yes. do
Over
it.
a low heat, a medium heat, or a high heat?
High heat.
High heat.
High heat,
Okay.
Yeah, just there. I turn it on.
Turn it on up
Yeah.
to high,
Up to high.
and we just leave that.
And just leave it.
Okay. What's next?
Can you melt that for me,
Melt
please?
the butter. How do you
And
melt
if
the
it's-
butter?
Just to put it in the microwave
In the microwave
for 2 minutes.
for 2 minutes.
Yes.
And tell me, who taught you how to make badlewa?
I see mom doing it, I see my mother-in-law doing it, friends doing it.
Yes.
So that's learn.
And you just learned
Yes,
from watching.
Watching.
Okay. How about we do the nuts? Shall we
Yes,
start with the
yes,
nuts?
yes.
Obviously, you're using a food processor here.
Yes.
How would you have chopped the nuts when you were growing
I
up?
just mash
Okay.
it, mash it.
Just mash it.
Mash it with the plastic bag.
Okay. How much of the walnut do you need to?
Say I need a kilo for the.
Okay, let's go for it.
Yeah.
Oops,
Yeah,
stray one.
that's-
Isn't that the one you've got to eat? Whenever
No,
I
no,
drop
no.
one, I have to eat it.
Oh, okay, you could eat it, not me.
Okay. How much should
Then
I
I
chop it?
turn fine.
That more.
Yeah, that's good.
That's good.
Yeah.
Okay. So we've got a nice
fine, fluffy,
fine crumb.
Yeah, yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Okay. And we'll grab a tray.
Yep, just a bit here.
Tip this in.
Yep. Yeah, but
We'll
some
go
more.
again.
Yeah.
All in. And see, there's the one that dropped.
You ate it.
You would do this as a little girl,
Yes,
pounding
it, yeah.
with a rock or with a
with a
something from the
no,
kitchen.
really, we got special big hammer, wood one.
Okay.
I got one here.
Can you show me? Ah.
Yeah, we used to use that, you know.
So
But we used to have a bigger like this.
okay. So I would call that a mortar and pestle.
That's
what do you
right.
call it?
A tomb.
A tum.
Tomb.
Tum.
Yeah, that's for the tomb. Tomb is the garlic.
It almost sounds like the sound it would make.
Yeah,
Tum,
see?
tum, tum.
3 spoons of icing sugar.
3 spoons?
Yes.
Okay. So what was life like growing up in Syria as a girl?
I say was good.
Yeah? Happy
Was
childhood?
Really happy childhood. It was different than here. We grew up 5 sisters
Okay.
in a family.
5 sisters.
Yes,
Did you have
sir.
any brothers as well?
Yes, 2.
5 sisters and 2 brothers.
2
A big family.
Big family. We used to get lots of friends at school, and I used to love my school.
Did you?
Yeah. But when my dad moved to Australia, we have to go back to the village.
Okay.
So we don't get the high school there to finish the education. So I stopped school in year 9.
Did you help with the
Hard
cooking
one.
much?
Yes.
So what do we do now with the walnuts? and the
See,
icing
now
sugar?
we have to put rose water,
Rose water. And how much
3
rose water are we putting in?
3 tablespoons
3
rose water.
tablespoons.
Yep. 1, 2, 3.
And then do we
So
mix
okay,
that through?
We mix through.
Okay, I can give it a mix.
Yep.
So when you were making the baklava as a young girl in Syria, what was your job?
My job, everything.
Whatever you were told.
Whatever my mom said, do, with
And that's how you learned.
Yeah.
So what do we do now with this nut mix?
Mix it more.
Oh, more, okay.
Yeah, more, So.
Okay, so we crush out the
Crush
icing
the
sugar.
Yes,
Okay.
like that.
It smells so fragrant, doesn't it?
Yep.
Oh.
Smell is nice.
Now, the melted butter we've got in the microwave. Shall I grab that?
Oh, yes, please. Yep. See, we'll put this on the side. Yep.
Yep.
Just here. We have to finish the syrup.
Finish the syrup. Okay,
Yep.
shall I grab the pot?
Yes, please. Just now we're gonna cut the lemon.
So we finish it with the lemon
Yep.
and with some more of the rose water.
Yes.
How much of the rose water?
2 spoons, please.
2 spoonfuls. Okay.
Yeah.
So did you enjoy growing up in a big family?
Yes, it's hard. You can get whatever you want,
No.
because
That's probably a good lesson
It's
for
good
life, though.
lesson, yeah.
You can't always get what you want.
that's right.
And what age were you when you left Syria?
I was 18.
18.
Yeah.
Okay. And did your whole family move?
Move, yeah. I went to
Together?
America and another month down to here, to
Okay.
Australia.
Yeah. So do we only
So,
need half the lemon?
half the lemon.
Half the lemon.
That's
and what
it.
do we do now?
We're gonna boil it a little bit.
Boil it a little bit more.
Back, yeah. Now we're gonna open the pastry.
And what are we going to do with this pastry?
We're
Do we
gonna
need
paint it with the butter.
with the butter?
Yeah.
So can I do the
Right.
buttering?
Yes.
Fantastic.
You could do that, yeah.
So I paint the bottom.
Yeah, all
How,
of it.
how thick?
Just
Doesn't matter.
doesn't matter.
Doesn't
whatever.
matter. Okay.
Just this one, like that.
Now phyllo is a very thin pastry.
Yes, very thin.
Did you make it
No,
yourself
no.
as a child?
We used to buy it. Bakery used to make it.
Okay.
Yes, because they get special rolling pin for it.
Okay.
I don't know what's
So
happening.
you'd buy it from a local
From
bakery.
local bakery.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's just put this like that.
And how does it compare to what you buy today from the supermarket?
See, it's easier today.
Okay.
Yes.
And how many layers of the pastry do you put in the bottom?
How much people like it thick?
Okay.
Just
So you do it thick.
Yeah.
Lots of layers.
lots of layers.
So you moved to America with your family. How long did you live in America for?
We lived 5 years.
Your husband is from America, that's right, isn't it?
See, my husband, he's Syrian, like us. You know, we used to go to school together.
Did you? So you grew up in the same village?
Same village.
Okay.
We used to be neighbors too, you know.
Okay.
Yeah. He went to America.
Yes.
Then I follow him there, you know.
Okay.
So a lot of people, they laugh at me, huh? You know, how you do it? Oh, I do it. I done it.
And then you moved to Australia.
And moved, yeah.
And what convinced you to move to Australia and to live in Australia?
My husband loved this country here, Australia.
Yeah.
And he said,
Who
that's
wouldn't?
it. And he said, that's it. You know, we're going to stay here.
Okay.
So we stay here.
So you did. Now I
It's
can
lovely.
hear that syrup sizzling away,
Yeah, we should
bubbling
turn
away.
off. Yeah, shut it off, please.
Turn it off?
Turn it off. Thank you.
So it's come to a boil.
Yep.
How do you know when it's ready?
I know it's ready.
How?
Because-
I need to know how.
Okay. Just put this spoon
Yes.
and turn it like that and hold the spoon like this.
Okay,
The
hang on. You
less
have to show
drop-
me this.
Yep.
So,
Yeah. Like this.
stir.
Stir and hold like this. The less to drop, you could tell. Wait a minute. See? They started to
Ah, the slow dripping.
slow dripping.
That
You know,
means
like-
it's ready.
Yeah, look at that. See?
Who taught you that? Your
So
mum?
my mom and my mother-in-law. Look at that. See?
Okay,
Yeah,
and that's
it's
when you
ready.
know it's ready.
It's ready.
So now we set it aside to
Yep,
cool.
yep.
Fantastic. So Tammy, you've now put one packet of the phyllo pastry
that's right.
into the
At the
bottom.
bottom.
So what's next? Is it the nuts?
Nuts.
Okay.
Yep.
So should we grab the nuts?
Oh,
Oh,
what you done there?
the butter! I don't think there's one time I
Sorry.
cook without making a mess. It just happens.
We should have put the apron on.
I should have put an apron on. Oh, never mind. Okay, so we put in how
We
much of
put
the
it-
nuts?
All of them.
All of them.
All of
Okay.
them. Yep.
And do we do the pistachios at this time as well?
And end.
At the end, they go on the
After-
top.
After we cook it,
Ah.
and we put the syrup.
Yeah. So now we do a little bit more of the pastry?
Pastry.
Exactly the same way you did the
Exactly
bottom.
the same
But
way
we do it on the top.
bottom.
Can I have a
Yeah.
go this time?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've already got butter all over me. What's
Yep.
the difference? Okay.
Yeah,
So
just
fold it in half.
hold it, yeah,
Uh-oh.
that's okay.
In the middle?
In the middle.
So now that we've folded this in, how do we finish it off?
With a little bit of butter.
Bit more butter. I'll do
Yes,
more
no,
painting.
painting.
I'm already
Done.
covered in butter. Look at me.
Ah, that's
Spray it
okay.
everywhere.
Don't worry
Messy
about
cook's
it.
a good cook.
But
Isn't
yep.
that what they say?
Yep.
Now I've done this quite liberally. Is that okay?
That's
Lots of
okay.
butter?
That's okay.
Okay.
Now we're gonna cut it.
So you need a sharp knife to be able to
Sharp
get through
knife.
the pastry
Yes,
and the nuts. And
and
you're
the
going
nuts.
right to the bottom?
Right to the bottom.
Okay.
This time I'm gonna cut it to diamonds, make it big pieces.
Oh, thank you. So we put this in the oven.
In the
What
oven.
temperature?
180
And for how long?
for 1 hour.
Okay. Tammy, even before I open that oven door, the smell is incredible. What is
Nice.
that?
See, that's the butter.
The butter.
The butter. Because the butter is especially for sweet.
And so now we get to put the syrup on.
That's syrup on. Yep.
Can I do it?
Yep.
Take the honours?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All over?
All over. All over.
Is that right? All
Yep,
over.
all over.
Okay.
Yep.
Lots and lots and lots
Lots
of
of
syrup.
syrup.
Okay. Splash it round.
Yep.
Oh, that's good.
Especially in the end.
Why especially in the ends?
Because it's too much pastry.
Okay, so you want to
Yes,
really,
really
soak
soft.
it up with that
Yeah,
flavoursome syrup.
yeah.
You can smell the rose water. Beautiful. And how do we finish this
And
off?
with this one, just to grab a little bit like this. And like
Ah. And you follow
Yeah.
the lines.
follow the lines.
I can't wait to eat this, Tammy.
Oh, look
How long
nice.
do I have to wait?
I thought it got cold, maybe a couple of hours.
Oh. Okay.
Okay.
I think I can manage. Just.
Yep.
Yum.
Yeah.
Tammy has made a traditional Middle Eastern dessert called badlewa, using a recipe that is literally thousands of years old and passed down her family tree for generations. It's got layers of phyllo pastry painted with melted butter, filled with crushed walnuts and topped with more layers of phyllo pastry and butter. To find out more about this dessert and for Tammy's traditional recipe, visit dessertsoftheworld.com.au. Tammy has called Australia home for the past 43 years, and her daughter Faith's showing us a traditional Middle Eastern dessert called namoura, adapting a recipe that's been passed down for generations and onto her from her grandfather. Faith, it's lovely to meet you. I have had a wonderful time cooking with your mum. I'm in a big mess to prove it. What am I going to be cooking with you?
We're going to be cooking namoura.
Namoura.
Yes.
And what is namoura?
It's a semolina slice.
Great, let's get started.
Okay.
What do we do first?
First thing we do is we paint the tray with tahini. And tahini is sesame seed paste.
Okay, so I would say tahini.
Tahini.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. And why do we do this?
This acts as a non-stick agent. So it's like greasing or putting butter down on the tray. And it just gives the base more of a crunch as well.
And
So
give
you
it
want that
nice
texture.
taste.
Yes.
Nice taste.
Yeah.
Yeah, sesame, beautiful. Yeah. And tell me, who taught you how to make namoura?
When I was young, my grandfather used to always make namoura. It was something he always had and we always ate. And when he gave me the recipe, it just wasn't how I remembered it. So I went on like a quest and just asking different people for different recipes, and I found this recipe, I adapted it to how we like to eat it, and I just sort of stuck with it.
That's the beauty of recipes, isn't
Yeah.
it? Is you can adapt them and change them over the time.
Yeah.
So that's done.
Okay, so we'll set that aside.
Yep.
And what goes into the namoura?
Okay, first of all, what we'll do with the namoura is put the butter in. And I melt it in a saucepan.
Now I notice you're using Nuttelex rather than normal butter. Is
Yeah.
that for a particular reason?
My husband and my daughter are lactose intolerant.
Sure.
So I would make the betlewa as mum made it, but put lactose-free butter in it.
Okay. And would this recipe equally work the same way by putting normal
Yes.
butter in it?
Yes.
Okay. Unsalted, salted, doesn't matter?
It's traditionally with unsalted butter. Yeah.
Shall I pop that on the hot plate for you?
That'll be fantastic. The next thing is we'll put the semolina in the bowl. 1 kilo of semolina. Everything in this recipe is 1.5.
Okay.
So the butter is traditionally a block and a half.
Okay.
That's my measurement.
I love it. There's no metric measurements. It's all just what you can remember.
When I got onto this recipe, it was 1.5 cups of a teacup. So it worked with this. It didn't work with a normal metric measurement, so I just stuck with.
So you just use a teacup. This teacup, does it have to be this particular?
Anything happens to this, I have to measure it and
And you don't
find
have to
another
do
one.
that. So your mum has her set glass. You've got your set teacup. I
Runs
need a
in the
drinking
family.
vessel to use as my measurement.
And just 1/2 cup of flour. And again, I've adjusted it so it's nice and crunchy and crispy and how everyone likes it.
So you really like that texture.
Yeah,
to be.
yeah. A lot of different countries make it more like of a cake,
Right.
a moist cake, but I knew it as a crunchy slice sort of a thing.
Is that how your grandfather made
Yes.
it? Was
Yeah.
it a crunchy
Yes.
slice?
Yeah.
And what did you call him?
Judo.
Judu.
Yes,
Oh,
judo.
nice.
Yeah. So I use my hands when I'm cooking. I
Oh,
just
fantastic.
mix all the dry ingredients together, make sure that's all mixed in.
Do you cook everything with your hands?
Yeah.
A lot of things.
A lot.
A lot.
Fantastic. Can
So-
I have a feel?
Yes.
Okay, so there's the graininess of the semolina.
yes.
It's very obvious,
Yes.
isn't it? Okay, but it's beautifully smooth and...
And everything's
like
just nicely
sand.
mixed in. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yeah.
Okay.
So next we'll put 1.5 cups of the milk.
And again, you're using lactose-free milk
Yep.
for your family?
Yeah, so they
But
can
you-
eat as much as they want.
Great. But you could equally substitute
Normal
regular
milk, yeah, yeah. So we'll just mix that all in, and then I'll put the butter in and mix that in.
Right. Now, your mum has been back to Syria. Tammy was telling me about that
Yeah.
earlier. Have you ever been back?
I have visited.
Yeah?
When my oldest daughter was 2, we went over there and I met my husband's family that were there.
Ah, so your husband is from Syria
Yes.
also. And how did you find that experience of visiting?
Oh, it was an eye-opener.
Really?
We're very blessed in Australia. We have all the comforts of everything. But it was a really good experience. I loved seeing the culture at its raw, I think, and like all the food and how everything's made in masses and everything's just fresh and just different, I think.
Yeah.
Different lifestyle.
Different lifestyle. This is done now. We can get the melted butter.
The butter? And do I
Put
just
it in
pour
there.
that in?
Yeah, pour it in the centre. And that's just get mixed in as well.
So this makes it quite a wet mixture. It's gone from looking like wet sand to being something quite moist and luscious, really. I want to get my hands in there. Can I have a go?
Go for it.
So you're just sort of mixing.
Yes, and you'll feel that the centre of the bowl is a bit dry.
Yes.
So you need to get it all mixed in together.
Right.
Yeah.
And what happens next?
We've laid in the tray that we put the tahini on.
Great, I'll grab that.
Okay. And we just pour it over. It all goes in. And we just spread it out so it's evenly along the tray.
And because it's quite buttery now, it's quite easy to push out.
To push in.
Yep.
Okay.
And
I can smell the buttery. Oh,
It's all butter.
it's all about the butter.
Yeah.
And all about the attar, the syrup that goes
syrup,
on top.
you know, it's delicious.
So what I do now is get a knife and I cut it just as Mum cut the bitlewa before I put it in the oven.
So diamonds again.
You can cut it anyway. I cut it diamonds, it just looks nice when you're presenting it.
It does. So Faith, do you need me to preheat the oven?
That'll be fantastic, thank
Wipe
you.
my hands, but a little lick first.
Tastes yummy, doesn't it?
It's got almost a vanilla-y flavour.
I think it's from the semolina actually,
Must
I
be.
don't know.
What temperature should I put this on to?
200. So
Great.
what I'll do now is wipe my hands.
Sure.
If Mum, you can get all the other ingredients out, I'll grab the nuts.
So these peanuts now go on top of this before it bakes?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Some people at this stage soak it overnight.
How would that change the end product, do you think, by soaking it overnight?
From what I've tasted, the ones that soak overnight, they're more of a thick, a cakey sort of a thing.
So you'd lose a little bit of that crunch
I think
that you
so,
like.
yeah. So these get popped right in. So when
Oh,
it gets
right in.
cooked, it doesn't come out.
Don't think I'm pushing mine far enough.
No, I've got to. And some people put almonds on top or pistachio nuts. It's basically what you like.
Yeah. So Tammy, is this how you made it when you were growing up in Syria?
Yes, yes. Sometimes we put coconut with it. If we don't get coconut, we put the flour, you know.
I love the way these recipes are handed down from generation to generation, and little tweaks are made along the way to make it right for your family. That looks so fantastic. So it goes into the oven now for how long?
For about 45 to an hour.
Well, that Namura's been in there for almost an hour.
Yes.
Should we get it out?
I think so.
It smells so sweet and nutty.
Oh.
And it looks divine.
Well, we're going to put the attar on top of it.
Okay, and we pour that on while it's hot?
Yes, while it's hot and the attar is cold, I just pour it straight on top.
Okay. Oh, that looks so good.
Smells lovely.
And I guess it's all just going to soak up that beautiful, fragrant syrup. It's interesting too how you can see that it's come away from the edges all the way around.
Yes.
Means done.
It means it's done, yeah. So it really is swimming in that syrup.
Yes.
It is swimming. When you leave it to cool down for about an hour, it'll be dried up just like the bitlewa was. And all the syrup will be in.
Beautiful. So how long will that take to soak up all that syrup?
About 40 minutes to an hour.
Can't wait. Yum. Faith has made a traditional Middle Eastern dessert called namura, adapting a recipe that's been passed down for generations. It's made of semolina and includes sugar and self-raising flour before adding milk and unsalted butter. To find out more about the way Faith has adapted the traditional recipe to suit her cooking style, visit dessertsoftheworld.com.au. And it looks divine. Tammy and Faith have shown us how to make two wonderful Middle Eastern desserts called badlewa and namura. My mouth was watering as they each poured the syrup on the desserts. I can't wait to try these. Tammy, thank you so much for having me into your home today, and thank you to both of you for showing me these beautiful desserts. Tell me, Faith, how are they best enjoyed?
Depends what you prefer. If you like a cup of tea or coffee, Arabic coffee traditionally, but you can have your cappuccino, your flat white, whatever.
Let's go the coffee. I've got to go an Arabic coffee, of course. And Tammy, shall we try the batlewa?
Of course.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
This is the best bit.
Uh-uh.
Getting to eat it.
Nice, huh?
Tastes nice?
Oh, the stickiness and the nuttiness and the pastry is so flaky. It's perfect.
Nice.
And I love a dessert when afterwards you've really got to lick your fingers. That is delicious. Now, Faith, the namura. I want that bit that's from the edge.
You
said
have
that's
it.
the bit that everybody wants.
That's my favourite as well. So
I think there's another one with
I'll
an
have
edge.
this one too.
Excellent.
I have one too. Nice and crunchy, huh?
I see exactly what you mean about the crunch. That crunch is what makes it. And again, that syrup floating all the way through just adds a beautiful flavour.
And it's still nice and soft in the middle as well, with the crushed on there.
And the peanut is actually quite strong too. Beautiful. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Tammy's Badalewa recipe and Faith's Namura recipe are both online for you to download and enjoy. There's also loads more sweets and decadent desserts. Dessertsoftheworld.com.au